So Denver and Minnesota game 4 just happened right there, lads. And that was a hell of a game. That's all I'm going to say. That was a hell of a game. Because while obviously, like as far as the lead goes, it looked like Denver were in control for most of it. Ant-Man dropping 44 points was still incredible. What Jokic did was incredible, and Aaron Gordon missing one shot is nuts as well. But obviously the series is tied 2-2. To start off the game, the Minnesota Timberwolves were a bit in control. Obviously they didn't build in any sort of a major lead, but to end the first quarter, it was the Denver Nuggets that really did take off. The Denver Nuggets ended the first quarter really well. I think they went on a 14-2 run, whereas they were down for quite a lot of the first quarter. That run at the end of the first, Jokic not even on the floor for some runs, did kind of give him a little bit of a lead, and it just was literally a case of like Denver would pull it out to 12, Minnesota would get it back to 7, Denver would pull it out a bit, Minnesota would get it back, and that was the case for the remainder of the game. But like, if you look at the end of the second quarter, it was just a mad spell. Like freaking Jamal Murray hitting a half-court shot right after KCP scoring from a 9-point game to 14, so it was tough. Like, if you look at the third quarter as well, they would pull away a bit and Minnesota would come back. When it came to Karl-Anthony Towns did not have a good game. Like 13 points, yeah, he had 12 boards. He did not shoot well at all. Like, I think he started off 1 of 8 from the field and didn't really pick it up too much. When it comes to Jokic shot a ridiculous percentage. Heck, Aaron Gordon, 11 of 12 from the field with 27 points. Was unbelievable as well for the Denver Nuggets. And obviously, Ant-Man, one of the best playoff games of his career, 44 points against a good Denver team. Anytime it looked like the Timberwolves were down and out, it was like Ant-Man was willing his team back into the game. It's just unfortunate that he was not able to pull it off in the end, because that was one of the best playoff performances I've seen in a loss in a long, long time. But at the end of the day, it is 2-2. The series is 2-2. Jokic had 14 in the fourth. Or did he have more than 14? Sorry, he had 60 in the fourth quarter. Jokic was rebounding pretty well. He only had 7 assists, but like some of them were crazy passes. Like the amount of passes out of fadeaways that he was shooting, like he was being double teamed, just getting it into people. That pass that only really Jokic can make. And he made multiple of them in that game. Like, he had a serious game. Like, this is Jokic back to his best. But now we're at 2-2. Now we are at 2-2. So it really is a case of, I'm not counting out this Minnesota Timberwolves team because they only lost by 8. Aaron Gordon missed 1 shot and Cat had 13. And I don't know what Rudy Gobert was doing at the end of that game. Like, travels. Man shoved somebody and then did the money sign afterwards when he got called for an offensive foul. Like, come on, Rudy. Like, it's lost all meaning. That gesture has lost all meaning now because you did it on a blatant foul. It has lost every bit of its meaning, Rudy Gobert. Like, why? Why would you go and do that? It's lost all meaning now. Either way, though, it's now 2-2. And I said at 2-0 that it was over the series. And the reason I said that was under the assumption that Jamal Murray was going to be suspended. Like, I don't know how he didn't get suspended, but it was under the assumption they had looked like they'd imploded, and I thought their second best player was going to be suspended. And if Jamal Murray isn't suspended for game 3, or is suspended for game 3, I think they might go 3-0 down. Like, I just think that boost of getting Jamal Murray back, no suspension, meant that they went out even harder in game 3. But this game today, it genuinely was a great performance from the Denver Nuggets. Almost from start to finish. Like, this is the Denver Nuggets that we know. This is the Denver Nuggets that won an NBA championship very comfortably last year. And this is the Denver Nuggets that are current favorites to win the NBA championship. Well, not necessarily currently, because, you don't know what the story is after they went 2-0 down. But now that they're back to 2-2, I would say they're, in a lot of people's eyes, the favorites. Whether Boston is the bookies' favorites, I don't know. I would say a lot of people would think Denver. I don't know what. I think whoever wins this series is going to be Dallas if Dallas come out through OKC. I think OKC are more dangerous just because, Luka's playing on one leg right now. And I still just don't. I think it's more OKC handing the game to Dallas than Dallas taking it from them in general. But in this series right here, you're looking at two of the best teams in basketball playing. And even, like, obviously the rest of the Timberwolves didn't show too much in this game right here. I'm just looking through the scores. Like obviously jaden mcdaniels hit a couple of shots down the stretch to pull it back a bit. 11 points. Mike Conley started off pretty hot, and he did hit a couple of shots. But, like, Gobert is just a weird one because on offense, he's such a liability, but he's such a big factor for their defense. When Gobert was trying to guard Jokic, though, I don't know why they went to that matchup. Jokic eats Gobert alive, and he continued to eat Gobert alive today. He kind of always has. So that was a bit of a weird matchup that we saw Denver go to quite a bit. I would have liked to have seen Denver go to a bit of, like, jaden mcdaniels on Jokic. Yeah, Jokic probably kills him, but I also think that Gobert in help and McDaniels being able to guard him is like, McDaniels is like a better Rui Hachimura. Jokic is still probably going to kill him, but at least there's some help there, and it means Gobert is not just left on an island and they're screwed. Either way, though, we've now got we've now got potentially 3 more games in this series, and I would say the Denver are back in the driver's seat, but it's far from over. We thought this series was over 2 games ago. Denver have all the momentum in the world, but if Ant plays like that again, and Gordon doesn't shoot 11 or 12 in the field, and Murray continues to play like he has been, which is like, the last 2 games he's been all right, I guess, and like Cat actually hits his shots, like in the end of the game, like 5 of 18, which is a better percentage than he started with, but still terrible. If Cat hits some shot, like if Cat hits 3 more shots, that's a ball game. If Cat goes 8 of 18, it's a ball game. So it's not all doom and gloom if you're Minnesota. Yeah, you lost your 2 home games, but they've shown this playoffs that whether they're home or away, it doesn't really matter too much. They are a very solid team. They've got veteran leadership. They've got their superstar. They've got their defense. So I think it's dumb to count out the Minnesota Timberwolves right here. But at the same time, it is like Denver Nuggets are now in the ascendancy. If anything, they've just taken back control because they've got home court back. Even though, again, has home court really mattered for Denver? Like, I think they lost, I don't know, they've lost 1 home game, 1 away game this series, or this season. Or sorry, no, they've lost 2 home games, 1 away game. So they won their home games versus Denver or versus Los Angeles. Apologies, lads. 4 a.m. right now recording this. But yeah, I genuinely do think I would predict Denver to win, but it is a close series. It wouldn't surprise me if Minnesota do pull this off. But at the end of the day, when it's level and the champions have momentum, it's very, very hard to bet against a team that have been there and done that and also have momentum. So if Minnesota win it, fair play. I think they can. I think they're a team that's constructed to not implode after blowing a 2-0 lead. Like, I think some teams would implode in this scenario. I genuinely don't think this Minnesota team will. But at the same time, Denver clearly in the driver's seat right now. And I'm going to go out on a limb. My prediction, based on what I've seen in the playoffs, is whoever wins this series wins the NBA championship. That's just my prediction. I think it's going to be very, very difficult for whoever wins between OKC and Dallas to win the Western Conference Finals. Like, Luka cannot... There's only so long Luka can last when his legs don't work. There's genuinely only so long. As well as that, you've got OKC, if they come through, I still don't think beat either of those teams. And then I don't know what it is with Boston, but I don't really rate Boston that highly. Like, I know they're pretty good. I know a lot of people, like, I know they're actually even performing pretty well in the playoffs. Other than the 2 game 2 blips, they've been exceptional for the whole playoffs. I just don't like Boston. I don't know why. I don't think they're that good. But anyway, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.